Chris is going to sing. He got popular all at once. Request last night and request today. And this is especially for Donna and her friend. And he's a boy, isn't he? Boyfriend. All right. Glad to have him with us tonight. Amen. Lock me up in a prison and throw away the key. Take away the vision from these eyes that I now can see, and deprive me of the food I eat, and even bind my hands and my feet. But as long as I know Jesus, I can still go free. That I could still go free. What kind of man would reach down his hand and do this for me? Oh, unworthy to live and not fit to kill. Then a man on the cross put me in his will and says that I could still go free. Well, I never could quite understand why a king would want to leave his throne, take on the robe of an earthly man, feel the pains of flesh and bone, and then later trod the lowly path that led to Calvary, where the blood red stains, they broke all the chains, that I could still go free, that I could still go free. What kind of man would reach down his hand and do this for me? Oh,
like to say something tonight. There's a lot of actions that go on in everyday life that people take for granted, like breathing and moving about like you're supposed to. I learned one day that that's not always the way it is. You don't always roll out of bed and stand up, because it don't always come that natural. If you're not doing what God thinks you're supposed to do, or what you're supposed to do, and what you know you're supposed to do, and you think that you can't be brought to your knees, just go on the way you're going. God will bring you to the point where He can use you.
Oh, hallelujah.
If you don't believe me, just look back at my life. I was going the wrong way totally, in the opposite direction in which I was raised. And everything this man has said across this pulpit, and a lot of people have said, it comes back to you. It'll haunt you. And just this song right here, it tells me that, I mean, it brings a feeling up in me that just you could put me anywhere you want to. From now on, you could put me anywhere you want to. You could lock me in a dark closet like you hear these weirdos nowadays that are finding their thrills by torturing people and then taking their life. God will make a prayer room for you. That was a sermon up there at the campgrounds, the senior camp. Many people have found their prayer room in desperation. I believe that sermon was meant for me, because that man talked about a boy that was a Pentecostal boy, had just got his paycheck in Houston or someplace big city in Texas, and he was the last murder victim of some masochist that had locked 27 some odd people in his basement and tortured them and molested them and finally put them to death. And that man said that last boy right there, in his last, he'd done gone crazy. They'd tortured him so much. He was fixing to take a gun and blow that kid's head off. And the kid started praying. And something came into that room. And this is what the murderer testified in court. Something came in that room, and I couldn't pull the trigger.
Oh, God.
And just as I got a grip on myself to pull that trigger, the boy started speaking in an unknown tongue.
Oh,
I couldn't understand what he was saying. And all of a sudden, that presence felt like it left the room, and I blew his head off.
oh, hallelujah.
That boy found a prayer room in desperation. My prayer room was an ICU ward.
My Lord.
I had 3 heart attacks, or my heart stopped 3 different times. Pneumonia, double pneumonia, killer. That's what the doctor told me, killer, double pneumonia. And my doctor, the last time I went to him, said, "Are you still sitting on the front row?" I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Are you still in church?" I said, "Yes, sir, I'm still in church." He said, "Well, you ought to be." He said, "You ought to be stand and testify every time you come to church, because you're a living miracle."